Good morning again, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk in this video a little bit about waiting in romance in particular. Waiting, because it's got a factor to it. It's unflattering, it's unsavory, it doesn't help your character or your reputation when you wait for people. And it turns out, if you pay attention to the dating world a little bit, you notice right away that women don't wait. Not anymore, they don't. They are trained. They have a collective and a policy about waiting, and I'm not lying about this. So they wait for maybe 1 second, 1 second at most. Where men can wait indefinitely, but they can choose to stop waiting, right? Women, on the other hand, do not wait because it makes you look bad, right? When you're on the line, when you're hanging, waiting, kept guessing, on the fence, with non-committal answers, no information, no response. Women have refined this, unfortunately. I say women because every single one I've ever seen does this. They have refined the process of postponing dates, of keeping things ambiguous, and responding only when it's a sure thing, so that they can keep the upper hand in the balance of power, so to speak. So, when does a woman not wait? Well, let me rephrase the question. When does a woman actually respond to a request for her time? Only when it's a sure thing, like I said, when it becomes obvious that it's going to happen, and it's going to happen imminently. Or else you don't even hear from her. And I'm not trying to be a misogynist, but this is a fact, and I defy anybody to prove me wrong on this point. She will not even respond until she is confident above a certain level that she is absolutely going to be successful, and it's going to immediately happen, and it is a pretty sure thing, or else she would be kept waiting, perhaps. And the female collective, like I said, has this down to a science. There is a female collective. They communicate amongst themselves, and there's a camaraderie among feminists, among other people, who have refined this to a science where between postponing engagements, regulating communication, or refusing to communicate, let alone commit to a stance or a position or a disposition or a date, they have dominated the dating world. They have dominated completely without any need for arguments, without any need for negotiation, without any need for a leap of faith or courage or a wager where there's supposed to be some kind of bet. Maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. You risk something just by showing up. They don't show up, and more than that, they don't even communicate about showing up until it is entirely arranged on their end. Where it's possible, they can see it through, and it's a confident thing. So this is something to look for. It's woefully unbalanced in the modern world. Women expect men to approach them for the most part. They expect men to take the initiative, and if they don't, that man in question will just languish indefinitely. If he refuses to take the initiative, if he waits for a woman to approach him, for example, he'll be waiting forever. And I speak from personal experience, painful experience. Just out of curiosity, I have devoted the last almost 4 years of my life to waiting for a woman to approach me. And granted, there are some questionable things about my situation, but they all have reasonable explanations, such as my financial situation, prospects moving forward, that kind of thing, which could be concerning legitimately to a woman. But not a single woman has approached me, because there's a new policy, it's an expectation in the dating world that it happens one way. And it is very refined. It is a tight network of high-speed communication over devices and the internet and other forms of communication, where women have become solid to the point where there is no deviation of behavior, because it affects all women, all of the feminists. They are. You have to be on board with the policies to be a woman, and it's for safety, right? It's for protection and to mitigate the violence of the past, to mitigate the abuses and the perception that men are dangerous. All right, so in conclusion, you can choose as a man, as a heterosexual man, to wait, to indulge what in nature would be possible and frequent, where if perhaps a high caliber person or a person of desirable quality in the dating world were to wait themselves for someone to approach them, they would eventually be approached, if not by, high-end prospects, at least by, mid or low prospects. It's reasonable to think, but not here. That just never happens. It never happens. And it's because of this collective drive towards safety and control. That's what it is on the part of women. A collective drive towards safety, protection, and control, which is mutually understood and acknowledged between them, and it has resulted in a wild bastardization of what was a normal, healthy, natural process between men and women. So, final conclusion. Erring on the side of safety, in this case, has subverted the dating procedure that has always existed between men and women. They err on the side of an expectation of failure, an expectation of violence and betrayal. They err on the side of safety and cowardice, to be honest, so that nothing happens that is not on their terms. And this is the ultimate bottom line for the policies. Nothing happens unless it is safe, on our terms, and with confidence that we never have to wait. So we don't look bad. Well, that's really nice for you. That's really nice. Congratulations on micromanaging the dating world and making it so unpleasant that nobody in their right mind, no decent man is going to want to participate in it. So men choose the lesser of evils, and they submit. Most of the time, no, they become domesticated. They accept your terms because the alternative is nothing at all, right? When it's that solid, when every single woman is on the program, they accept your terms and they finally acquiesce, right? They acquiesce, or they remain celibate. And you call them names. You call them homosexual. You call them incels. You call them, something wrong. He's weird. Whatever. We have 1,000 words to describe non-players, people who don't play the game, people who refuse to submit to your processes. So I'm going to be waiting until I'm dead, basically, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to lower myself to allowing someone else to make all my choices for me. We can meet halfway or not at all. If I sound angry, it's because I'm a little frustrated in more than one way, if that makes sense. Reach out if you like down below with questions or comments. Thank you.